Yo, what up everyone? Today I got another weapon guide for you guys. To be exact, a rifle guide. First of all, why the rifle? For me, fire rate matters a lot on shotguns, and due to the very fast and accurate double or two shot mechanic, the rifle is a top tier weapon. At the same time, it is also very budget friendly, since it only costs $150. It does not require any traits to unlock its full potential, which makes it the perfect beginner shotgun in my opinion. Overall, it's a very solid shotgun. The only two shotguns which I would rate higher than the rival are the Crown and King and the Terminus in combination with levering. The Crown and King coming in with $600 makes it not very affordable for most players and can easily push your loadout far above $1,000. On the other hand, the Terminus requires levering as a trait to become a top tier shotgun, and it's still pricier than the rival. So even though both shotguns are technically better than the rival, I still highly recommend it due to it being very budget friendly while performing just as well as the other two options in most situations. Okay, now we're gonna talk about traits. Like I said, the rival doesn't require a singular trait. There's one trait that I would highly recommend in general while playing shotguns. That is Lightfoot. What does Lightfoot do? It allows you to silently climb up and down ladders and silently vault, which can come in very clutch in close quarter combat situations to swap your position without your enemy even getting any audio cues. Also, Lightfoot silences your very first jump. Afterwards you have a roughly 1.5 second cooldown until the next jump, but once you get a good feeling for that, you can basically silently frog leap through the compound without making any or barely any noise, which can be a huge advantage to get into an off angle or to get the jump on your opponent in close quarter combat. I will showcase you how to use Lightfoot in the upcoming replays, but now let's talk about consumables, or the only consumable there is that gives you like a huge advantage in close quarter combat. It is the flashbang, surprise surprise. Honestly, if you manage to flash your opponent, it's basically a free kill, so I would always recommend bringing it when you play shotguns, especially in close quarter combat. Okay, let's talk about ammo types on the rival. The rival does have 4 different ammo types: buckshot, slugs, penny shot and flechette. In my opinion, the best and only ammo type you need is buckshot, since it is a very reliable one-tap, and buckshot can be shot while jumping with full accuracy. Once your opponents are like further away than 20 meters, I would rather recommend using your pistol or whatever secondary you have chosen to take the fight with that. Slugs have like a 12 meter one-tap range to the chest and a 21 meter headshot range. Also, it is worth mentioning that slugs in general have a very high 2-tap range. I think on the rival it's like 40-50 meters, and due to its very high fire rate, it is worth doing it, but keep in mind that the rival with slugs comes with a reduced reserve ammo pool of 5 instead of 8, so it's kinda hard to resupply ammo when you end up fighting the whole server, for example. Still a solid pick though. Then we have penny shot. It's basically the same as buckshot, comes with the same benefits. You can still shoot it while jumping. Only disadvantage is that you cannot wallbang, and the benefit is that it's better against PvE, for example against bosses. Then we do have flechette, which is in my opinion the worst ammo type, due to the reason that it basically disables your one-shot capabilities with a shotgun. Yes, it can one-shot if you headshot someone with most of your pellets, but if you aim for the head in close quarter combat with a shotgun, then might as well play a rifle. I'm not saying it's like terrible and unplayable, but you have to be honest, flechette is the worst ammo type you can equip on the rival. For consumables, there's only one consumable I would highly recommend bringing, which is the flashbang, the most goated consumable in the game. If you get a hit marker, it's basically a free kill, so buy flashbangs, get your free kills, and enjoy. Okay, let's jump into some gameplay. I will do some in-game commentary, so you guys know what I'm doing here and you get a better understanding of how to play the rifle or shotguns in general. First game is gonna be a double-digit kill game in prison. Prison is not an easy combo to fight in, but especially with the combination of Lightfoot, you can make some insane plays, so I thought it's a great replay to start the guide on. First thing, I hear that people are doing the boss right now. I have a shotgun, so I try to take the opportunity to instantly get in close quarter or shotgun range. A little trick, when playing shotguns, even though I'm out of one-tap range here, I shoot him anyways and try to aim punch him, so he feels threatened and at the very least has a harder time to line up a shot. Also, you saw that I jump peeked the corner. It's a very good idea when you're playing buckshot to avoid getting headshotted by anyone who's holding the corner. If they do, they're probably gonna end up shooting you in the stomach or the chest instead of your head. This right here is a good example why the high fire rate can matter, because sometimes you don't fully connect all your pellets, but being able to shoot twice with a rifle will end up killing a lot of players, which will end up with you getting a lot of kills that you wouldn't have gotten with other shotguns. Right now I'm just listening for audio and trying to figure out where the outside team is headed, while reloading all my weapons and positioning some strategical traps in case they end up pushing, so I have more time to react. I hear them running around on metal, which means they're on the outside stairs. I don't expect them to push here since I do have a shotgun. And by them pushing the building, they would simply go into one-tap range, which is usually the opposite what anyone is going to do once they have figured out that you have a shotgun. We are going to do a little skip here. There's another team that has arrived on the lumber side, but nobody's really doing anything, so I decided to do the boss to progress the game. Sometimes when playing shotgun, it's a good idea to just wait in your position for somebody to push you. There's no reason for you to go outside, fight the Mosin, if you don't have to. Like you can hear, I started doing the boss and they started to come closer. I killed one of them is down a bar, so they probably want the bars back, so my play or my idea worked out. I left the lair here once I basically had killed the spider with a sticky bomb. I don't really care about the boss in a close quarter combat situation. Since I have a shotgun, it doesn't really matter to me if they get their bars back or not. I simply used the boss as bait and it worked out perfectly. They started pushing, I got a sneaky kill with my frag grenade. They probably couldn't hear me cooking it at all since the spider was running around with a sticky, then died, which makes a lot of noise. Easy kill for me, and we can continue fighting. Like you could hear in the background, we got a little bit lucky there. He dropped off the ladder into my trap, and we got another free kill. At the same time, we hear the other team, the lumber side team, pushing my side of the prison. So I rotated outside. At the same time, this was a good showcase how to use Lightfoot. I was outside, but I didn't want anyone to know that I am outside, so I used Lightfoot, like you saw there, to leapfrog through the mud to catch anyone who's going for a revive around the toilet area here off guard. I'm gonna do another skip here since the last remaining team didn't want to push, so I'm waiting for the banishment to finish so we can continue the fight. Especially in prison, it's always a good idea to claim one side of the prison or one boss layer for yourself when you play shotgun, so you have an area from where you can react to your enemy. Small tip here, sometimes it's very useful to use walls or pillars as a stopper to throw your grenade at, because this way it just falls straight to the ground and you are able to hit places that you usually wouldn't be able to throw a grenade at and can get an easy kill. After getting the kill here, I'm starting to rotate immediately. Here's another good showcase on how to use Lightfoot. I Lightfoot down the ladder, jump on the box. I changed elevation and they have no idea about it. Currently the flames above me are overshadowing my footsteps, so I can move a little bit quicker without giving away my position. Overall, when you're playing shotgun, especially inside a compound, after you get the first initial kill, I would always try to play a little bit more aggressive to get a snowball situation going. Here we can take another good look at how Lightfoot works. You see how I'm kinda leapfrog jumping, crouch jump, sit still, crouch jump. And I get into position here, or like I can advance 5 to 10 meters without making any noise, and I get a nice kill here because they are completely unaware of me being down here. Now we're in a 1v1. I'm gonna speed this up real quick because they backed off. I trapped one of the bodies, then I started pushing them and finishing off the fight. Since nothing is happening right now, let's summarize why the rival was a great pick in this scenario. There were so many kills I got, especially at the beginning of the fight, that I wouldn't have gotten with most other shotguns without having to invest heavily into either a trait or into a Crowning King. And overall, when playing rival, always abuse the fact that you can play highly aggressive. You don't have to hold an angle. If you miss a shot, you can just shoot again. At the same time, we saw how useful Lightfoot can be, especially as a shotgun player. I want to say a lot of my kills were heavily reliant on me being able to Lightfoot around the compound. This is the end of the first replay. Little showcase how far you can actually one-tap people with the rival. In my opinion, a very reliable. In the second replay, I'm gonna show you guys how I'm attacking a boss lair, and I wanna heavily highlight how strong this rival double tap can be, because we're gonna take out multiple opponents here, multiple times, and overall, the rival will save your ass simply due to its fire rate. With most other shotguns, I would have died here multiple times and would have not ended up wiping the server. The current situation is looking like this. There's a team inside the boss lair and there's a team outside. Due to that, I'm placing some traps down in the basement, so in case I get pushed by one or the other team, I can try to kite them through it and maybe even out the numbers without even shooting a person.
Hello, motherfucker.
Here I heard a player cooking a dynamite stick, so I just decided to push them. I have a shotgun, I can just punish them for allowing me to get a free pick here. Sadly, the cooking dynamite also overshadowed his teammates' footsteps, so they get a kill here, but we do have Necromancer, so we are gonna come back here. Right now you will see why I love the rival so much. I will push the layer and you will see for yourself. I don't think you could have done that with most other shotguns in this game. Especially not at the price range the rival is coming at. Now that I've realized that the other team is pushing the lane at the same time, I'm closing the sliding door and going back into the basement, because from there on I'm able to easily isolate 1v1s. Again, the 2-tap has saved our ass here. Since I have a shotgun here, after healing up, I'm immediately going back into the building to continue the fight. And again, the rival double tap comes in clutch. I can swoop up 2 kills here, and I'm in a 1v1. A little trick here, quite often in the 1v1 it's very smart to abuse Hunt's movement mechanics to bait out your enemy to shoot at you, especially when they play single shot weapons like crossbow, Romero, Bugs. I don't know if you heard it, but they just went into Darkside, so I'm placing some traps on their teammates to avoid a Necromancer revive here. After placing my traps, I'm pretending that I'm pushing the boss layer here just to get a reaction out of them. I use my scan here, I see they are going for the revive from the other side, I run back down and try to finish the fight. And again, I jump around the corner with my buckshot rival. You see how they are adjusting their crossbow a little bit? I caught them off guard, which made me able to kill them without them being able to trade with me. Wouldn't have mattered since I have Necromancer, but you get the point. Little summary again. What you saw in the last replay is how we are... Little summary here. What did we learn from the last replay? The double tap mechanic allowed us to play heavily aggressive and mop up kills within less than a second, over and over again. What I have done here, I would only been able to do the same with the Crowning King, which comes at $600, or with the Terminus with Levering, which requires a trade. So, go rival. In the next clip, I wanna show you guys how to use your secondary to enable yourself with a shotgun. Overall, it doesn't matter what secondary you wanna play. I prefer the uppercut or the conversion pistol, but any secondary that you like works with a shotgun. New Army, Officer, Uppercut, Spitfire, Conversion Pistol, Nagant Pistol, Bornheim. Pick whatever you like, you can make it work. Little summary here, like you saw, we just spawned into lanes, so we are getting into a spawn fight. Naturally, people are not gonna be right within shotgun range yet, so we're gonna have to rely on being sneaky and using our shotgun, using our pistol. I'll be honest, I probably should have just used my shotgun here, but I wasn't sure, like, you know, how close they're gonna get, so I wanted to use fanning here to get the first kill and then eventually mop up more kills with my rival. But it worked out and we can save ourselves into cover. The issue we have right now is that there's not a lot of hard cover between me and the last two remaining enemies. So we have to use a pistol here to give ourselves some room to play aggressive again. Currently I'm just waiting for one of them to peek me so I can tag them and then play offset. At the same time, since we're in the lanes, there's not a lot of room to rotate, so I'd rather concentrate on like denying the revive here than doing a big rotation. I'm using my sticky bomb here real quick, just to like get rid of the meathead, because the leeches are getting kinda annoying. Even though I'm not getting kills here, you see every time I tag somebody, I turn up the aggression a tiny bit, and towards the very end here I get a tag on the sheriff. I know that he's getting into cover and it's very likely that his teammate is gonna re-peek me. I get my headshot on the white shirt and then instantly turn up the aggression even more to finish the fight. An important thing here is, even if I wouldn't have headshotted the white shirt, I would have simply tagged him. That would have meant that both of them are down like 60-70 HP, which would have allowed me to push them with my shotgun anyways. So always use your pistol as like kinda your jab to get into KO range, if that makes sense. Alright, that was it with my little rival guide. Hope I could convince you guys to give the rival a chance, because in my opinion it is a top 3 shotgun, even though it's a budget shotgun at the same time. But for me, that's even one more reason to just play it, because you're not really losing anything if you die. Anyhow, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Have a good one.